This
Everyone, and
conference will now be recorded.
good afternoon, everyone. And today we are going to deal with some of the chapters like probability distributions, which are both continuous and discrete, followed by the correlation and regression. Okay, and you can see on the screen. So it is a binomial distribution. Okay, so when we say that a distribution is supposed to follow a binomial distribution. Okay, right. So the probabilities of 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on are n successes, right? Then nc0 p power 0 q power 1 and nc1 p power 1 q power n minus 1 and so on. These are called the respective probabilities. Okay, a discrete random variable, and you can find the right. You can find the definition here. So a discrete random variable x has a binomial distribution if it assumes only non-negative values, and its probability distribution is given by probability of x is equals to r is given by ncr p power r q power n minus r. So before we begin these distributions, so we would like to know what is the purpose of that distribution, right? Studying distribution, what we make sense. So the name itself indicates that distribution, in the sense the total probability one is how the probability one total probability is distributed among several possible outcomes is given by these distributions, right? Suppose when a coin is tossed, so there are two outputs are there, right? And how the total probability is distributed among those two outcomes. Of course, if the coin is unbiased, it is 1 by 2 comma 1 by 2, right? And if it is not unbiased, then they are going to change. But anyway, each and every case cannot be determined orally. So you must have some mathematical and statistical model for determining the respective probabilities of what is the number that is assigned to each and every output. And among them, the first one is given by, of course, Bernoulli trials antaru. And Bernoulli are literally they are developed, and there comes binomial distribution, right? Suppose there are n trials are there and there are r successes are there, then probability of x is equals to r is equals to ncr p power r q power n minus r, when r taking the values from 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on n, and is equals to 0 otherwise, right? So to apply this so-called binomial distribution, some assumptions must be there, right? So what are those assumptions? So for applying binomial distribution, of course here they are not written, but uh, we must aware of those. The number of trials must be finite. You cannot go with infinite number or large number of trials. So it is a finite and countable value. And the second one is there are only two possible outcomes called success or failure. So there must not be any ambiguity. Okay. So there are only two possible outcomes. One is success and the other is failure. So generally, the probability of success is denoted by P, whereas the probability of failure is denoted by Q, and hence P plus Q is always is equals to 1. So this stands for the definition of binomial distribution. P of x is equals to r is equals to ncr p power r q to the power n minus r. Okay, right. We move to next. So based on that, of course, these problems are all of you are having basic level of understanding. A coin is tossed 9 times. Find the probability of getting 5 heads. Okay. So, and here you can see that number of trials is given by 9. N is equals to 9. And what all you need is 5 number of successes. Right. So R is equals to 5. Okay. Therefore, P of X is equals to 5 is equals to 9C5 1 by 2 power 5 into 1 by 2 power 9 minus 5. So just I told you that whenever a coin is tossed, there are only two possibilities are there, either head or tail, right? So each and every one is having the same probability of occurrence by assuming the coin is unbiased. Okay. So we need to find what is the value of this 9C5. Of course, some scientific calculators are available. So it is 126 to the power. Of course, bases are same. Their powers are added. Therefore, it is again 9. So 126 by 2 power 9 is 0.24609. So we must know how to interpret that. So getting answer is not a very big task, but how to interpret that particular answer is really a big task. Okay. So there is a 24% chance is there that out of 9 times 5 heads are going to appear. So that is the way in which we can interpret. And if you look at the other problem, right? The other problem is in 256 sets of 12 tosses of a coin. Okay, there are 12 tosses. In total, there are 256 sets. Okay, in 256 sets of 12 tosses of a coin, how many cases one can expect 8 heads and 4 trials? Okay, right. Suppose P is the probability of getting head. Of course, it is 1 by 2, and Q is the probability of getting tail. Of course, not getting head and చెప్పి పిలుస్తాం because both of them are same. Okay. So they are equally distributed, which is 1 by 2 and 1 by 2. So n is equals to 12, right? So the probability of getting 8 heads and 4 tails out of trials. Okay. So ఇక్కడ మనకు కావాల్సింది 8 heads మాత్రమే. 8 heads కావాలి కాబట్టి probability of x is equals to 8 is given by nch p power h q to the power n minus 8. n అంటే 8. Okay. Oh, 12 minus 8, which is 4. So which is 495 by 4096, which is the probability. But if you look at the question, so in how many cases? The question is how many cases. So the question is not all about the probability. It's all about the number of cases. So expected number. So generally expected numbers are obtained by multiplying the probability with the total number of cases. Okay. So there are 256 cases are there. It is multiplied by the respective probability 495 divided by 4096, which is 30.93. Means there is almost all 31% of chance is there that out of 12 tosses we can expect 8 heads. Okay, of course 8 heads in the sense it is 4 trials, it doesn't matter. Okay, so ఇవన్నీ ఆల్రెడీ ప్రీవియస్ ఎగ్జామ్స్ లో ఇచ్చినవే ఒకసారి జాగ్రత్తగా. So the probability that a pen is manufactured by a company will be defective is 1 by 10. If 12 such are manufactured, find the probability that exactly 2 will be defective. Okay, so it was given that defective is 1 by 10. Okay, so you are given with of defective, which is 1 by 10, and Q is 1 minus 1 by 10. It is 9 by 10 or 0.90. So The definition of probability says that it is NCR P power R Q to the power n minus R. Okay, that is the definition of binomial distribution. Phi of R is equals to NCR P power R Q to the power n minus R. So here you can see that 12 CR 0.1 power R into 0.9 power 12 minus R. Now, the probability of exactly two defectives. So we take R is equals to 2 here. So probability of X is equal to 2 is 12C 2.1 whole square 0.9 whole to the power 10. Okay, so in total, so of course, while you are writing examination or well, if you are in a class, then always engineering students are given with calculators. Unless and until you are given with them, you cannot solve these kind of problems, right? So this 0.2301. So here it is at least 2 will be defective. At least in the sense minimum. At most in the sense it is maximum. And here the question is given by at least 2 will be defective. Okay, at least 2 will be defective means probability of X greater than or equals to 2 ని ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలి. బట్ దీనివల్ల వచ్చిన డిసడ్వాంటేజ్ ఏంటంటే మనం 2 నుంచి 12 దాకా వెళ్ళాలి. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, it is up to 12. So it is very hard and we choose the alternate route. It is 1 minus probability of X less than 2. So X less than 2 in the sense probability of X is equal to 0 plus probability of X is equals to 1. Okay, so we take both of them, right? So we add these two and it should be subtracted from 1. It is 12C0 0.1 power 0 into 0.9 power 12 and this is 12C1 0.1 power 1 into 0.9 power 11. So which in turn it is 0.341. Okay, and there will be no defective. So there will be no defective in the sense the number of defectives must be equals to 0. So 0 volume here, the probability is given by 12C0 0.1 power 0 into 0.9 whole to the power 12, which is approximately 0.2824. 28% chance is there. Okay, so I think these problems are also you came across in your previous classes. 10 coins are thrown, right? 10 coins are thrown simultaneously. Find the probability of getting at least 7 heads. So remember those keywords. At least in the sense minimum. Okay, and at least 6 heads. It is going to be your second question. But whenever a coin is there, all the coins are supposed to be unbiased while you are taking into consideration. Okay, మనం తీసుకునే ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ అన్ని అన్బయాస్డ్ కి సంబంధించినవే. And if the coins are biased, we never and ever consider them, okay, into our problems. So here P of X is equals to R is given by NCR P power R Q to the power n minus R. P is equals to 1 by 2 and Q is equals to 1 by 2. That's it. Okay, so how many coins were considered? There are 10 coins. Okay, so we must have 7 heads. So 7 heads కావాలని అడిగారు కాబట్టి in the first case we take X is otherwise R is equals to 7. So R is equals to కనుక 7 తీసుకున్నాం అనుకోండి, right? R is equals to కనుక 7 తీసుకుంటే he asks about at least 7. At least 7 in the sense probability of X greater than or equals to 7. Okay, so this is probability of X is equal to 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10. And remember there is no other way to solve these problems without these manual works. ఇంకొక షార్ట్ కట్ ఏమీ లేదు. So that is one thing I would like to remind you. Okay, there is only one and only way to solve these kind of problems, right? So it is probability of x is equal to 7 plus 8 plus 9 here and plus 10 here, and we subsequently substitute the values of R, P, and Q. Okay, so here you can see that. So how you got 10C7? Of course, R and A 7. 1 by 2 whole to the power 7 into 1 by 2 whole to the power 3, but which in turn becomes power 10, right? So this is for ikkada, which this should be multiplication, and there should be addition. Okay, so there is something went wrong. So something went wrong here. Okay, of course. Okay, that's so it is 10C7 1 by 2 power 10, 10C8 1 by 2 power 10, and 10C9 power 10C9 into 1 by 2 power 10, and 10C10 whole to the power 10C10 into 1 by 2 whole to the power 10. Okay, so if you take out that 1 by 2 whole to the power 10 into common, you can see that 10C7. So 10C7 value is 120. 10C8, okay, 45. So you know what is NCR? N factorial by n minus r factorial into r factorial. 10C9 value is 10, and 10C10 value is 1. So in total you are going to get 0.1718, very less. Okay, 17% chance is there that we are going to get at least 7 heads. Okay, now the next one is at least 6 heads. Okay, at least 6 అన్నారు కాబట్టి ఏం చేయాలి? Then we need to go through this formula. Probability of x greater than or equals to 6 is equal to, so greater than or equal to కూడా ఉంది కాబట్టి we must include 6. Okay, so probability of x is equal to 6 plus probability of x is equal to 7 plus probability of x is equal to 8, 9, and 10. Okay, right, right. Okay, so it is again probability of x is equal to 6 means it is 12c6 into 1 by 2 power 10 plus. So this is already calculated by us in the previous example. Okay, so that is the reason why they wrote here probability of x is equal greater than or equals to 7. Okay, so this is 0.3769. Okay, 37% probability is there to get at least 6 heads. Okay, right. Okay, in a okay, all these are problems. Of course, this is good. One more model. So in a binomial distribution consisting of 5 independent trials, the probability of 1 and 2 successes are respectively 0.40 and 0.2048 respectively. Find the parameter P. Find the parameter P of the distribution. Okay. So probability of success ni kanukovali. So this is a good model, right? So 5 independent trials were given. Okay, so n is equals to 5. You can see here n is equals to 5, and it was given that probability of x is equal to 1 is given by 0.4096, and probability of x is equals to 2 is given by 0.2048. Okay, then from binomial distribution we have the formula: probability of x is equal to r is given by ncr p power r into q to the power n minus r. Okay, so as n value is equals to 5, it is 5cr into q to the power r into q to the power 5 minus r, right? Then these two values are available with us. So what happens if I put r is equals to 1? So it was given as 0.4096. Okay, so it is 5c1 p power 1 minus p whole to the power 5 minus 1. Okay, so this gives you an equation in terms of unknown value p. So this is 5p into 1 minus p whole to the power 4, which is 0.4096. So keep it aside. And similarly, if you put r is equals to 2, which was given as 0.2048, we have 5c2 into p square into 1 minus p whole cube, which is 0.2048. Okay, then there are two equations are available. This is equation number 1, right? So this is equation number 1. 5p into 1 minus p power 4 is equals to 0.4096. Okay, and the next one is 10p square into 1 minus p cube is equal to 0.2048. Those are the two equations, and if their ratio is considered, right? So ilanti problems ki that is the only solution we have. That is the only solution we have, considering the ratio. Okay, right? If you take one by the other, so 5 or 10, of course it's a simple technique to cancel out. It is 1 minus p divided by 2p is equals to 2. So if you go for p, it is equals to 1 by 5, then it is 0.2. Okay, so the next problem is almost all given in every exam. Okay, right? The probability of a man hitting a target is 1 by 4. So I saw this question in many number of examinations, both descriptive and objective examinations. So the probability that a man hitting a target is 1 by 4, and if he fires 7 times, what is the probability of his hitting the target at least twice? Okay, so at least twice ante minimum number of times he has to hit is 2. Okay, minimum. So hitting the target is 1 by 4, that is p. P value is 1 by 4, and the q value is obviously 1 minus 1 by 4, which is 3 by 4. Okay, so we need to know at least twice in the sense, so probability of x is equals to x greater than or equals to 2. Okay, so which is 3, 4, 5 తీసుకున్న 2, 3, 4, 5 తీసుకున్న ప్రాబ్లం లేదు. Otherwise 1 minus probability of x is equal to 0 plus probability of x is equal to 1, అది తీసుకున్న ప్రాబ్లం లేదు. Okay, right? And here you can see it is nc0 p power x 0 into 3 by 4 whole to the power 7 plus 7c1 into 1 by 4 whole to the power 1 into 3 by 4 whole to the power 6. Okay, so it's almost all 1 minus 0.4448, otherwise 55.52% chance is there. Okay, and if you look at the second question, how many times he must fire so that the probability of his hitting the target is at least once is greater than 2 by 3. So at least once greater than 2 by 3. So A very beautiful sentence. Okay. So at least one, the corresponding probability must be greater than 2 by 3. We need to find the value of n. How many times he has to fire such that probability of hitting at least once must be greater than 2 by 3. Almost all 60, more than 60%. Okay. So you know what is meant by that probability of x greater than or equals to 1. So probability of x greater than or equals to 1 is the same as 1 minus probability of x less than 1. So what is probability of x less than 1? There is only one chance is there, which is probability of x is equals to 0. Okay. So here it is nc0 t power 0 q to the power n minus 0. So n minus 0 is obviously what? N. So what is nc0? 1. 1 by 4 power 0 is 1. It is 3 by 4 whole to the power n. Okay. Right. So 1 minus 3 by 4 whole to the power n. ఈ నెగిటివ్ నటు షిఫ్ట్ చేసాం అనుకోండి, it becomes positive. ఈ 2 by 3 ని షిఫ్ట్ చేశారనుకోండి, it becomes minus 2 by 3. Okay. So 1 minus 2 by 3 is given by 1 by 3. So in order to resolve that, we consider logarithm on both sides. So if you consider log on both sides, log 1 by 3 is greater than log 3 by 4. Of course, you know the properties of logarithms. If x is greater than y, log x is greater than log y. Okay. So if x is greater than y, then obviously log x is greater than log y. Kaadi danto problem emi ledhu, right? So log x power n is nothing but n log x. Kabatti log 3 by 4 power n can also be written as, it is n into log 3 by 4. So from your calculators you can see that log 1 by 3 is because it is less than 1. Okay, 1 by 3 less than 1 kabatti logarithm value is always negative. Okay, so its value is given by minus 1.0986, and 3 by 4 is also less than 1 kabatti its logarithm value is also negative. Okay, so don't cancel out negative and negative. Okay, that is true whenever equalities are there, but it is absolutely wrong whenever inequalities are there. So whenever you are multiplying with the negative on both sides, the inequality is going to alter. Okay, less than becomes greater than, and greater than becomes less than, and so on and so on. Okay, right. Therefore you can see here there is some greater than symbol is there. Okay, there is some greater than symbol is there. That greater than symbol with product becomes less than. Minus to ganaka multiply cheste that greater than becomes less than. Okay, so it's easy to solve for n. So n is greater than, strictly greater than, it is 3.81, but n stands for what? Number of trials. So n stands for number of trials kabatti it should be always an integer, which is positive integer. Okay, so అది ఎప్పుడు పాజిటివ్ ఇంటీజరే అవ్వాలి, otherwise you can say that natural number. So 3.81 కన్నా పెద్దదైన natural number ఏంటి అంటే it is minimum is 4. Therefore here it was written, since n is not a fractional quantity, the required number of times hitting a target is given by n is equals to 4. Okay, right. So of course ఇలా చెప్పుకుంటూ వెళ్తే there are so many problems are there which we need to discuss. Right, what are the applications of this so-called binomial distribution? Of course, as a objective examination we don't bother about these application advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so what is the mean of binomial distribution? You know very well, mean of the binomial distribution is given by NP, whereas variance of the binomial distribution is given by NPQ, right? So mean is given by NP, whereas variance is given by NPQ, right? So these two must be remembered. Okay, remember those two. Then where we can make use of them in a given problem, right? So look at this. In a sampling, a large number of parts manufactured by a machine, the mean number of defectives in a sample of 20 is 2. Okay, suppose if you consider a sample consisting of 20 items, the number of defectives are observed to be 2. So if you take 1,000 of such samples, okay, remember that samples are 1,000. How many would be expected to contain at least 3 defectives? Okay, ముందు ప్రాబ్లం కనుక అర్థమైతే తర్వాత ఆన్సర్ చేయొచ్చు. So first biggest problem is understanding the problem itself, right? So creating a problem is a big problem, and understanding the problem is the next big problem. But solution is little bit easy. Okay, so you are given with what? 2 defectives out of 20. So this is P is given by 0.1 and Q is equals to 0.9. Okay, so it was given that mean is equals to 2. So mean is given by for binomial, it is NP. So NP is equals to 2 means, so N is equals to 20. So what we are doing right now is we are trying to get the parameters of binomial distribution. Okay, so what are the parameters of binomial distribution? N, P, Q are supposed to be the parameters of binomial distribution. ఆ మూడు వచ్చిన తర్వాతే మనం ఏ ప్రాబ్లంనైనా సాల్వ్ చేయగలము. అవి కనుక రాకపోతే ముందు వాటిని తీసుకురావాలి. సో we got right now equals to 20, P is equal to 0.1 and Q is equals to 0.9. Okay, right. So the probability of at least 3 defectives in a sample of 20. 20 ఎక్కడి నుంచి వచ్చింది? ఇదిగోండి ఎక్కడి నుంచి వచ్చింది. సో 20 ఎక్కడి నుంచి వచ్చిందంటే ఇక్కడి నుంచి వచ్చింది. సో ఒక శాంపుల్లో ఎన్ని ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఉంటాయి అంటే 20 ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఉంటాయి. అఫ్ కోర్స్ దట్ వాజ్ ఆల్రెడీ గివెన్ దేర్, రైట్? ఇక్కడ ఆల్రెడీ ఇచ్చేసాడు ఇచ్చిన ప్రాబ్లంలో, బట్ మనం మళ్ళీ తీసుకొచ్చాం అదే తేడా, రైట్? సో వీ మస్ట్ హ్యావ్ మినిమం 3 defectives, right? Minimum 3 defectives అడిగారు కాబట్టి probability of x greater than or equals to 3. సో 3 దగ్గర కనుక మొదలెడితే మీరు 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 20 వరకు వెళ్ళాలి. బట్ అదర్ దాన్ దాట్, సో ఇట్ ఈస్ సబ్స్టిట్యూటెడ్ బై 1 minus probability of x is equal to 0 plus probability of x is equal to 1 plus probability of x is equals to 2. Okay, so this is 1 minus, of course, probability of x is equal to 0 is given by 20c0 0.1 power 0 into 0.9 power 20. Here you can see, plus 20c1 0.1 power 1 into 0.9 power 19 and nc2 it is 20c2 0.1 whole square into 0.9 power 18. Of course it needs some kind of additional work. Okay, some kind of additional work we need. Okay, calculator తో చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. Okay, so okay, right, it is given by 0.3233, right? So 1000 samples అన్నాడు కాబట్టి we should multiply that 0.3233 with the help of 1000 తో multiply చేయాలి. So if you multiply it by 1000, then you can see that it is 323. Okay, so there are 323 samples are there out of 1000 sample sets that contains more than 2 or at least 3 defectives. Okay, so all these are okay fitting of binomials, but exam lo inta దూరం వెళ్ళరు, ప్రాబ్లం ఏమీ లేదు, ఓన్లీ ఎస్ఎస్, right?
సార్ మీ వాయిస్ వినిపించట్లేదు సార్.
సార్ మీ వాయిస్ వినిపించట్లేదు. హలో సార్, సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం సార్. వాయిస్ వినిపించట్లేదు సార్. మేబీ మ్యూట్ లోకి వెళ్ళినట్టుంది మీది.
రీఛార్జ్ ఆప్షన్ పొందడం కోసం ఏదైనా కీ ప్రెస్ చేయండి. నమస్కారం
మేడం.
సార్ వాయిస్ వినిపించట్లేదు అసలు మీది.
అలాగే నాది అక్కడ చూపిస్తూనే ఉంది కదా వాయిస్.
అక్కడ చూపిస్తుంది బట్ మనకి చూపించట్లేదు. ఒకసారి రీలాగిన్ అవ్వండి సార్, లేకపోతే.
ఓకే మేడం, ఒకసారి ఇయర్ ఫోన్స్ ఏమైనా మారుస్తాను.
చూడండి అసలు వాయిస్ రావాలి.
ఓకే మేడం.
ఓకే సార్, నేను వెయిట్ చేపిస్తాను. మీరు రీలాగిన్. మీరు ఒకసారి ఓకే సార్, మీరు లాగిన్ అవ్వండి. అమ్మ వెయిట్ చేయండి అన్న, సార్ వాయిస్ రావట్లేదు. ఒకసారి సార్ సిస్టమ్ ఆఫ్ చేసి ఆన్ చేస్తారంట. ఒక 2 minutes.
నువ్వా
సార్ మీరు కంప్లీట్లీ బయటికి వెళ్ళిపోయి మళ్ళీ లాగిన్ అవ్వండి సార్.
హలో మేడం, ఇప్పుడు ఎవరికైనా ఓకే మేడం, ఓకే కంటిన్యూ చేస్తాను. Okay, fine. So there we are right now, and what is about Poisson distribution, and if the number of trials are sufficiently large in binomial distribution, it is no more feasible to make use of it. Therefore, we can make use of this Poisson. So it is used in the following conditions. The first condition is P is very small and N is very large, and NP is a finite quantity. Of course, sometimes it is supposed to be a true statement. Okay, so N is very large and P is very small. Therefore, it is always a finite quantity. You can see, and its a probability density function is given by, it is P of x is equals to R is equals to e power minus lambda into lambda power R by R factorial. Okay, so this is going to be the probability mass function, of course. So probability mass functions are given for discrete random variables, and probability density functions are given for continuous random variables. Okay, this so-called Poisson is a discrete random variable. Okay, discrete random distribution. Okay, but that lambda is given by NP. Here lambda is greater than 0, which is called a parameter of the Poisson distribution, right? So what are the mean and variance of this so-called Poisson distribution? So mean of the Poisson distribution is given by, mean is equals to, you can see here it is lambda, whereas variance is also is given by what? Lambda. So mean and variance, both of them are equals to lambda. Okay, right. So you can look at this problem. If a random variable has a Poisson distribution such that P of 1 is equals to P of 2, then find the mean of the distribution, first question. And second question is find P of 4, and subsequently probability of x greater than or equal to 1 we need to find. And the last one is probability of 1 less than x less than 4, right? So it was given that probability of 1 is equals to probability of 2, right? So what is probability of 1? It is e power minus lambda into lambda power 1 by 1 factorial, and P of 2 means again it is e power minus lambda into lambda power 2 by 2 factorial, right? And if you solve this equation, we are going to get lambda square minus 2 lambda is equals to 0, else lambda is equal to 0, and or lambda is equals to 2. Okay, but lambda never be 0. Lambda never be 0. Endukante what is lambda? Lambda is equals to NP. So NP 0 ayindante either N is 0 or P is 0. So N is for what? Number of trials, never be 0. And what is P? probability of success. It is also never be 0. If it is 0, then it is called null event. Okay, జరగని వాటికి ప్రాబబిలిటీ అవసరం లేదు కదా, కాబట్టి లాంబ్డా వాల్యూ నెవర్ బి 0, దేర్ ఫోర్ లాంబ్డా వాల్యూ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్స్ 2. ఇక్కడ నుంచి మనకు కావాల్సిన వాల్యూస్ ని మనం ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ వీ నీడ్ టు ఫైండ్ mean of the distribution. Of course, lambda is itself act as a mean of that distribution, therefore lambda is equal to 2. Leave it. And the second question is probability of x is equal to 4. So again, the definition itself states it is e power minus lambda into lambda power r by r factorial. So if I replace r by 4, it is e power minus lambda into lambda power 4 by 4 factorial, which is in turn 0.09022. Leave it. Probability of x greater than or equals to 1. So probability of x greater than or equals to 1 can be written as 1 minus probability of x is equal to 0. Okay. Otherwise, the assumption of this Poisson itself states that n is very large. ఎక్కడ వరకు వెళ్తామో తెలియదు, 1 2 3 4 5, maybe in hundreds or thousands. Okay, so it is better to counter, right? So this is 1 minus probability of x is equals to 0, right? So here, so this is 1 minus e power minus 2 into 2 power 0 by 0 factorial, which is 0.8646. And the fourth bit is given by what is the probability that x lies between 1 and 4. So exactly between 1 and 4 అన్నాడు కాబట్టి probability of x is equal to 2 plus probability of x is equal to 3. So if you substitute them in the definition, it is e power minus 2 into 2 square by 2 factorial plus e power minus 2 into 2 cube by 3 factorial, which is 0.4511. Right? Okay. So this is going to be one of the primary aspects of statistics, which is called normal distribution, right? So our assumption is that all the data sets we consider under testing are normal. So what is meant by that normal? You can see the diagram, right? So we see that the obtained data is symmetric. అంటే మనం స్మోకర్స్ ప్యాటర్న్ గురించి స్టడీ చేయాలనుకున్నాం అనుకోండి, ఇన్ ఆర్ డేటా సెట్ we assume that there are 50% smokers are there and remaining are non-smokers, right? Wise and right eaters గురించి చదవాలనుకోండి, so 50% is right eaters and we assume that all these are. Similarly, we want to study about the population growth or child births, right? Then we assume that probability of getting a boy is the same as the probability of getting a girl. So always we see that the data is supposed to be a symmetric data. So that kind of distribution, of course, from the previous two, this normal distribution is a continuous distribution, right? So what is the basic difference between discrete and continuous? In discrete distributions, we take only integer values or frankly speaking natural numbers, and here we can consider the decimals too, which are obtained by measurement. Your height 6.1, 5.3, your weight 52.48, 63.12, whatever. Okay, so this is a continuous distribution. Therefore, its a probability density function is given by, so very big one but easy to remember, 1 by sigma into square root of 2 pi e power minus 1 by 2 into x minus mu by sigma whole square. Okay, so f of x is equals to 1 by sigma square root of 2 pi integral minus infinity to plus infinity e power minus 1 by 2 into x minus mu by sigma whole square when x lies between minus infinity to plus infinity, right? And here again mean is finite, which means minus infinity to plus infinity, it should lie between, and sigma is a positive quantity. then the total area under the curve is given by 1, right? This area. So these are in the sense x-axis is whatever called asymptote. Asymptote means it never touches the curve at any point. Okay, remember, asymptote means it is a straight line which never touches the given curve. Okay, right. Okay, the total probability under this curve and x-axis is given by 1. On the left side the area is 0.5, and on the right side itself again it is equals to 0.5. Okay, the area under the curve between the ordinates x is equal to a and x is equals to b is given by probability of a less than or equals to x less than or equals to b. Okay, అక్కడ లిమిట్స్ మార్చుకుంటే సరిపోతుంది, right? So one of the important point of this particular curve is this is the only distribution for which the mean, median and mode are all equal. So I am repeating, this is the only distribution for which mean, median and mode all are equal. And one more important aspect of this is the area under normal curve and x minus mu sigma to x plus mu sigma is given by 68.27%. వీటిని ఏమంటాం అంటే 1 సిగ్మా లిమిట్స్ అంటాం. అంటే మనకు అర్థమయ్యే భాషలో మాట్లాడాలనుకోనుకోండి, 1 స్టార్ హోటల్, 2 స్టార్ హోటల్, 3 స్టార్ హోటల్ అంటూ ఉంటాం చూడండి. Now we have almost all 7 star hotel. So for every unique feature you are going to provide to the customers, 1 star is going to be increased. So here in statistics we call them as sigma limits. So 1 sigma limit, 2 sigma limit, 3 sigma limit and so on. But in the textbooks right now we have only 3 sigma limits. So it is the probability that the point lies within the given region, right? That is called feasible region. Feasible region లో పాయింట్ ఉండడానికి 1 sigma limits లో ఉండడానికి probability 68%. Between mu minus 2 sigma to mu plus 2 sigma it is 95%, and between mu minus 3 sigma to mu plus 3 sigma it is 99.73%. ఇది ఒక 30-40 ఏళ్ల క్రితం మాట, right? 3 sigma limits అనేవి they are way back 30-40 years back, and now almost all we are using 6 sigma limits, right? అందుకనే మీరు సాఫ్ట్వేర్ కంపెనీస్ కనుక అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తే they are saying 6 sigma company, right? And వినటానికి బాగుంటుంది, but what is meant by that 6 sigma company? So 6 sigma company is a company in which for every 1 million operations there are only 23 errors are possible. So 1 million in the sense 10 lakhs. So 10 లక్షల operations కనుక చేస్తే only there is 23 number of times it may get went wrong, right? And if a company attained that level, then that company is called a 6 sigma company. Not all companies are like that. And now in India you can see Infosys, TCS and Dabbawalas in Bombay, which is an unauthorized 6 sigma company. And imagine if your lunch box is delivered to somebody else and someone's lunch box is delivered to you, but as of the records till today that is never happened, right? So it is the world's first unauthorized 6 sigma company. So the system of Dabbawalas in Bombay. Okay, right? So the standards are in such a way, right? So 6 sigma limits means 99 point tarvata 12 zeros పెట్టుకోండి, 12 nines, sorry, 99.9999999, 12 times you have to write 9, right? That much accuracy is obtained with 6 sigma limits. Okay, right? That in the definition of 1 by sigma into square root of here you can see x minus mu by sigma is called standard normal variate. Okay, so in the definition Z is equals to x minus mu by sigma is called standard normal variate. Okay, right. Remember that word because that is most useful in the upcoming problems. So x is a normal variate with mean 30 and standard deviation 5. Then find the probability that 26 less than or equal to x less than or equals to 40. Right. So here you can see. So what is Z? Z is equals to x minus mu by sigma. Right. So in the first lower limit is given by 26. Because 26 రాశాం అనుకోండి 26 minus 30 divided by 5, which is minus 4 by 5, which is minus 0.8. And if you write the upper limit 40 here, so this is 40 minus 30 by 5, which is 2. So here you can see x is equals to 26 is the same as Z is equals to minus 0.8. And x is equal to 40 is the same as Z is equals to 2, right? Therefore, you need to identify the area that lies between Z is equals to 0.8 and Z is equals to 2. So, as it lies on the left side, it is negative. Okay, probability of 26 less than or equals to x less than or equals to 40 is equals to probability of minus 0.8 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 2. So you chudali ante there is no other way except looking at a normal distribution table. And I think so many of you are CSC, right? If I assume that many of you are belongs to CSC, you came across this. Okay, లేదు అంటే కాంపిటేటివ్ ఎగ్జామ్స్ లో అయితే టేబుల్ వాల్యూస్ కూడా వాళ్ళే ఇచ్చేస్తారు కాబట్టి ప్రాబ్లం ఏమీ ఉండదు, right? Then so as I said, it is following symmetric property. Minus 0.8 నుంచి 2 కి వెళ్ళాలి అంటే minus 0.8 to 0, 0 to 2. As I said, symmetric. This area is same as this area. Okay. Minus 0.8 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 0 is same as 0 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 0.8. Okay. So మీకు ఆ టేబుల్ వాల్యూస్ ఇచ్చేస్తారు. Don't bother about that. It is 0.2881 and it is 0.4772, which in turn 0.7653, right? 0.7653. And what is the probability that x lies between 26 and 40 is 76.5%, right? That's it. And the second one is what is the probability that of course, let me check the problem itself first. Problem is probability of x greater than or equals to 45. So x ganaka 45 anukunnam anukondi, then z is equals to what? X is equals to x minus mu by sigma, which is equals to 3. Greater than or equal to అన్నాడు కాబట్టి ఈ సన్నగా ఉన్న ఏరియా మొత్తం ఎంతో చూడాలి. So probability of x greater than or equals to 45 is equals to probability of z greater than or equals to 3. సో ఈ పాయింట్ కన్నా ఎక్కువ, ఇదంతా పాజిటివ్ సైడ్ కాబట్టి probability of x greater than or equals to 3, right? So what is probability of z greater than or equal to 3? It is a little bit clumsy, but anyway, try to listen. So ఈ రైట్ సైడ్ ఏరియా మొత్తం ఎంత అవుతుంది అంటే it is 0.5. okay, it is 0.5. okay, I'm not a good artist, but anyway I'm trying my best. So ఈ టోటల్ ఏరియాలోంచి ఓకే రైట్ సైడ్ లో ఉన్న ఏరియాలోంచి ఈ మనీ కనుక సబ్ట్రాక్ట్ చేస్తే మిగిలిన షేడెడ్ ఏరియా వస్తుంది. సో నేను క్రాస్ ఆఫ్ చేసిన ఏరియా ఎక్కడి నుంచి ఎక్కడ వరకు ఉంది చూడండి, ఇట్ లైస్ బిట్వీన్ 0 to 3. సో దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఐ రోట్ హియర్. సో టోటల్ రైట్ సైడ్ ఏరియా ఈస్ గివెన్ బై 0.5, right? Total right side area is given by 0.5, right? దాంట్లోంచి ఆ షేడ్ చేసిన రీజన్ కనుక తీసేస్తే then we are going to get the shaded region. okay, so 0.5 minus 0.5 minus 0.4987, which is 0.0013. That's okay. And the next one is there you can see the mathematical notation mod x less than or equals to a, in the sense minus a less than or equal to x less than or equal to plus a. Okay. So modulus of x minus 30 less than or equal to 5 means minus 5 less than or equal to x minus 30 less than or equal to 5. So both sides మొత్తం ఈ ఈక్వేషన్ మొత్తంలో 5 యాడ్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళిపోయాం అనుకోండి. Okay. So 25 less than or equals to x less than or equal to 35. Of course 13 యాడ్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళాం, 5 కాదు. 13 కనుక ఈక్వేషన్ మొత్తం యాడ్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళిపోతే it is 25 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 35, right? So ఇది ఫస్ట్ బిట్ కింద కన్వర్ట్ అయిపోయింది చూడండి. సో లోవర్ లిమిట్ x బదులు 25 తీసుకుంటే z వాల్యూ ఈజ్ -1. అప్పర్ లిమిట్ కనుక 35 తీసుకుంటే z వాల్యూ ఈజ్ 1. సో వీ నీడ్ టు ఫైండ్ ద ఏరియా దట్ లైస్ బిట్వీన్ దీస్ టూ. సో అగైన్ -1 to 0, 0 to 1. ఓకే, -1 నుంచి 0 దాకా వెళ్ళాలి, 0 నుంచి 1 దాకా వెళ్ళాలి. రైట్, -1 to 0 and 0 to 1. సో ఇది సిమెట్రిక్ ప్రాపర్టీని సాటిస్ఫై చేస్తుంది కాబట్టి -1 less than or equals to z less than or equal to 0 అని ఎలా రాయొచ్చు అంటే 0 less than or equal to z less than or equals to 1 అని చెప్పి రాయొచ్చు. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ 2 times. So it is 2 times probability of 0 less than or equal to z less than or equals to 1. Okay, so its value is given by 0.3413 and hence it is 0.3174, right? So that is how we calculate the required probabilities in so-called normal. And mean of the normal distribution, I told you already that it is mu, right? Mean, median and mode of the normal distribution are given by mu itself. Okay, they are always same, right? And one more continuous distribution is given by uniform distribution, right? When we say that a distribution is uniform, a random variable x is said to have a continuous uniform distribution over an interval AB if its probability density function is a constant over the entire range. అంటే మీరు ఏ పాయింట్ దగ్గర తీసుకున్నా సరే ఫంక్షనల్ వాల్యూ కనుక కాన్స్టెంట్ అయితే then that distribution is called uniform distribution, right? And it is defined like this. So f of x is equals to k for a less than x less than b is equals to 0, otherwise ante less than a or more than b, the functional value is given by 0 and the total probability is always 1. We know that. Therefore integral a to b of x dx is equals to 1. And if you solve this integration, right, then k value is given by what? B minus a. Therefore this is modified as this: f of x is equals to 1 by b minus a for a less than x less than b and is equals to 0 otherwise. Okay, so let me explain the same. Let me explain one problem based on this uniform distribution. If x is uniformly distributed with mean 1 and variance of 3, then find the probability that x takes less than 0. Okay, right. And here I wrote a note which is not a point of concern right now. So mean of the uniform distribution is b plus a by 2 and variance of the uniform distribution is given by b minus a whole square divided by 12. Okay, so I am repeating. ప్రస్తుతానికి ఫార్ములాస్ అయితే సరిపోతాయి, their derivations are not badly needed right now. So mean is equals to a plus b by 2 and variance is given by 1 by 12 of b minus a whole square. So as x follows, as x follows. Uniform U stands for what? Uniform distribution over a comma b. So it's a probability density function is given by 1 by b minus a, right? So mean is given by b plus a by 2. Then first equation is b plus a is equals to 2, and its variance is given by 4 by 3. So variance is 1 by 12 b minus a whole square, and then b minus a whole square is given by 16. Okay, then b minus a is equal to plus or minus 4, right? Then if you solve these two equations, b plus a is equals to 2 and b minus a is equal to 4, then what happens? Then a is equals to, so somewhere it was went wrong. Okay, I think it was cut down. Okay, let me explain that. The values of a and b are given by uniform distribution. Okay, b value is given by 3 and a value is given by -1. So you can see over here, ikkada చూడొచ్చు a less than x less than b అన్నాం కదా. So by solving you can get a is equals to -1 and b is equal to 3. So what is that p of x? B minus a. So 3 minus of -1, which is 1 by 4. So p of x is equal to 1 by 4. So you need to find what is probability of x less than 0. So it is -1 to 0 p of x dx. So that integral is 1 by 4 dx. As 1 by 4 is a constant, you can write outside. It is 1 by 4 of x from -1 to 0, whose value is given by 1 by 4. So you can see one more example of this. Subway trains on a certain line runs for every half an hour between midnight to 6 in the morning. What is the probability that a man entering into the station at random time during this period will have to wait at least 20 minutes, right? So ఇక్కడ రేంజ్ ఇచ్చాడు, ప్రతి 30 minutes కి ఒక ట్రైన్ వస్తుంది అని, అవునా? సో 0 to 30. f of x is given by 1 by b minus a, అంటే 1 by 30 minus 0, 1 by 30 is equal to 0 otherwise. So probability of x greater than or equals to 20 అని అడిగాడు, అంటే minimum time waiting is 20 minutes. Okay, minimum waiting time is 20 minutes. Okay, maximum waiting time is 30 minutes. Okay, so probability of x greater than or equals to 20 is integral 20 to 30 of x dx. Okay, so that is 1 by 30 of integral 20 to 30 dx, right? Integral dx means what? X. So it is 30 minus 20, it is 10. 10 by 30 is given by 1 by 3. So that is all about uniform distribution. One more distribution is there, which is called exponential distribution. A continuous random variable x, assuming non-negative values, is said to have an exponential distribution with parameter theta. So a continuous random variable x, assuming non-negative values, is said to have an exponential distribution with parameter theta is given by f of x is equals to theta into e power minus theta x. Okay, for x greater than or equals to 0, is equals to 0 otherwise. Okay, so sometimes in some textbooks what happens is they are making use of m instead of theta. Okay, కొన్ని టెక్స్ట్ బుక్స్ లో m అని కూడా వాడతారు, కాబట్టి we didn't bother about either it is theta or it is m. Okay, so mean of that exponential distribution is given by 1 by theta. Okay, mean is given by 1 by theta, whereas variance is given by 1 by theta square. variance is given by 1 by theta square. Okay, so I wrote here in some textbooks theta is replaced by m. Okay, right. Let me explain this particular with the help of an example. On the average, a certain computer part lasts for 10 years. The length of the time of computer part lasts exponentially distributed. So what is the probability that computer part lasts more than 7 years? Okay, that is the first question we need to answer, right? So it was given that mu is equals to 10, means it is the average lifetime of the computer part, which is 10. So theta or m, what is m? M is equals to 1 by mu, which is 1 by 10 or 0.1. So you need to find probability of x greater than 7, minimum 7 years undali అని అడిగాడు కాబట్టి probability of x greater than 7 అంటే you need to write it as 1 minus probability of x less than 7. ఇలాంటి కేసుల్లో ఏం జరుగుతుందంటే అప్పర్ లిమిట్ ఎంత ఉంటుందో తెలియదు. సపోజ్ ఇన్ యువర్ ఓన్ హౌస్ ఇఫ్ యూ బై ఏ బల్బ్, సో ఇట్ మే వెంట్ ఆఫ్ in 1 hour, 2 hours, or it may be for with you for 5 to 10 years. You can say that, okay, I installed the bulb 10 years ago, it is still working, right? You don't know how long it is going to work further. Okay, kabatti you don't have any upper limit. Okay, right. So that is the reason why whenever you are given with the probability of x greater than 7, its value is given by 1 minus probability of x less than 7. So you can see one formula for probability of x less than x in exponential distribution, which is 1 minus e power minus mx. Okay, so this is the formula to find out the probability of x less than x, 1 minus e power minus mx. So which is 0.4966. Okay, 49% chance is there, almost all 50% chance is there for it to work more than 7 years. And the second bit is on the average so on the average if one bulb is replaced after the other, what is the average life? Of course, one bulb is average given by 50 years, right? So 10 years it was given as in the problem. So 5 bulbs one after the other gives you 50 years. That is bit B. And what is the chance that, what is the number of years such that 80% of the parts lost is given by, ఇది కూడా something like a new formula. Of course, we cannot elaboratedly discuss about this right now. So what is the number of years for which 80% of the parts lost is given by k is equals to ln of 1 minus 0.80 by minus 0.1, and that is minus mu actually. Okay, minus mu, which is 16.1 years. So 16 years, without any hesitation you can say that 80% of the computer parts are going to work without any interruptions. So the last one is quite obvious one, d-bit. It is the probability of 9 less than x less than 11. Of course, maximum is 11, minimum is 9. So probability of x less than 11 is equals to probability of x less than 9, right? ఇందాకే చూసాం probability of x less than x అంటే 1 minus e power minus emx అని, right? So 1 minus e power minus 0.1 into 11 minus 1 minus of e power minus 0.1 into 9. Of course, it is 0.0737. So you can see that only 7% of the computer parts are going to be out of use within 9 to 11 years. Okay, 9 to 11 years. That's it for distribution. So whatever we have done so far is we discussed about the different types of distribution, starting from binomial, Poisson, normal, uniform, and exponential. And the next concepts are given by the correlations and regression. So what is meant by correlation? So correlation is the strength of relation between two or more variables. Okay, so height and weight, right? Height and weight is the first, and the next one is supply and demand, supply and price, price and demand, and so on. So there is a 60% strength is there between height and weight of a newborn baby. 90% chance of relation between price and supply of a particular good. So correlation says the strength of the relation అంటే అది పర్సంటేజ్లో చెప్తుంది. సో it is a number which always lies between -1 to +1. Okay, so if it is 1, perfectly positively correlated, there is no other way. If it is -1, perfectly negatively correlated, and if it is equals to 0, then we can say that there is no correlation at all. అసలు correlation లేదని చెప్పొచ్చు. And that can be determined by the correlation coefficient, which is called Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. And you can see one formula here. Of course, there are 3 to 4 different formulas are there, but all of them are modified versions of one and another. Okay, so you can see here, right? So it is covariance of x comma y divided by square root of variance of x into square root of variance of y. Okay, so just I explained you what is a positive correlation. If two variables are correlated and two variables deviate in the same direction, అంటే ఒక వేరియబుల్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతున్నప్పుడు రెండో వేరియబుల్ వాల్యూస్ కూడా ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతూ ఉన్నాయి అనుకోండి. అదర్వైజ్ whenever one is decreasing, the other is also decreasing, it is said to have positive correlation. Otherwise, one is increasing, the other is decreasing, then it is called negative correlation. So zero correlation means there is no correlation, right? And here you can see one example. The height of a student and their marks. అంటే హైట్ తక్కువగా ఉంటే మార్కులు తక్కువగా ఉంటాయని కానీ, హైట్ తక్కువగా ఉంటే మార్కులు ఎక్కువగా వస్తాయని కానీ అలాంటిది ఏమైనా ఉందా? there is no relation. బాగా పొడుగ్గా ఉన్న వాళ్ళు చదవకపోవచ్చు, పొట్టిగా ఉన్న వాళ్ళు ఎరగదీసరావచ్చు, ఎనీథింగ్ మే హ్యాపెన్. సో ఇన్ వాట్ వే వీ కెన్ రిలేట్? ఇన్ నో వే. సో దట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ correlation is called zero correlation, right? So linear in the sense, so a correlation is observed in the form of a straight line, it is called linear correlation. Otherwise it is called a non-linear correlation. మీకు గుర్తుందో లేదో, మీరు మ్యాథమెటికల్ మెథడ్స్ లో కర్వ్ ఫిట్టింగ్ అని చదివారు. ఈవెన్ ఇన్ ప్రాబబిలిటీ అండ్ స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ లో ఫిట్టింగ్ ఆఫ్ ఏ స్ట్రైట్ లైన్, ఫిట్టింగ్ ఆఫ్ ఏ పెరాబోలా, ఫిట్టింగ్ ఆఫ్ exponential curves and so on. Away, away. Okay, so there is no change. So how we can get rid of those? Just I gave you one formula, right? Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation, right? So it is mainly obtained by this particular formula, right? It is covariance of x comma y divided by sigma x into sigma y. So you know what is sigma x? It is the standard deviation of the variables x, and sigma y is the standard deviation of y elements. So what is the formula again to find covariance? Covariance is given by expectation of x minus e of x into y minus e of y. సో వీటిని గుర్తుపెట్టుకోకర్లేదు. దెన్ సిగ్మా ఎక్స్ ఫార్ములా చూడండి. సో న్యూమరేటర్ ఈజ్ దిస్. ఒక్క ఫార్ములా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, అన్నిటికీ ఆ ఫార్ములానే పనికొస్తుంది. So this is the numerator, right? Covariance is also given by 1 by n into sigma xy minus x bar into y bar. So x bar ante mean of the elements of x column. Y bar is the mean of elements of y column, right? So sigma x can be obtained by this formula, square root of 1 by n into sigma xi square minus x bar whole square. And sigma y can be obtained by 1 by n into sigma y square minus y bar whole square. Okay. So I'm going to explain this. Okay. One good is there. So there are 10 students are there. Their marks in maths and statistics were given. Suppose marks in maths are given by x and marks in stats are given by y. Okay. Right. Maths in marks are given by x. So x bar కావాలనుకోండి. సో ఈ అబ్జర్వేషన్స్ అన్నిటిని యాడ్ చేసి 10 తో డివైడ్ చేయండి. 650 by 10 65, రైట్. అండ్ y బార్ మార్క్స్ ఇన్ స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ కావాలనుకోండి, ఆ y రోలో ఉన్న ఎలిమెంట్స్ అన్నిటిని యాడ్ చేసి వాటికి యావరేజ్ తీసుకుంటే 66. ఓకే. సో x బార్ అండ్ y బార్ ఆర్ అబ్టైన్డ్. మీరు ఈ టేబుల్ ని కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ చేస్తే ద ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఈస్ డన్. So first given with x, y, x minus x bar means what? Every element is subtracted from 65. So y minus y bar means every element of y is subtracted from 66 and follows the rest of the columns. X minus x bar whole square, y minus y bar whole square, and x minus x bar into y minus y bar. ఇవన్నీ కొంచెం typical గా చేయాల్సిందే. There are no other ways to get this. Okay. So I told you already the formula for the covariance. It is 1 by n into sigma xy minus x bar into y bar. మీరు ఆ ఫార్ములా వేసిన ఈ ఫార్ములా వేసిన ఒకే ఆన్సర్ వస్తుంది. And while we are dealing with statistics, most of the students are getting confused. సార్ ఏ ఫార్ములా వేస్తే రైట్ ఆన్సర్ వస్తుంది, ఏ ఫార్ములా వేసినా ఆన్సర్ వస్తుంది, ఏ ఫార్ములా వేసినా ఆన్సర్ వస్తుంది. Therefore covariance of x comma y కి one more alternative formula is, you can see over there, it is 1 by n into sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar. Okay, right. It is 270.4. okay, don't bother about whether it is a small n or capital N. Some others write it as small and some others write it as large. Okay. And variance of x is given by 1 by n into sigma x minus x bar whole square. Okay. So x minus x bar whole square, you can see in this table it is 5398 divided by 10, which is 539.8. And variance of y is given by 2224 divided by 10, which is again 222.4. Okay, 2224 divided by 10, 222.4. So as and when those values are obtained, okay, therefore its value is given by rxy is equals to covariance of x comma y divided by square root of variance of x into variance of y. Okay, so which is 270.4 divided by square root of 539.8 multiplied by 222.4, which is 0.78. So 0.78 in the sense there is 78% of association that exists between marks in maths and marks in stat. Okay, 78%. అంటే మ్యాథ్స్ లో కనుక బాగా వస్తే స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ లో కూడా బాగా రావడానికి, దాంట్లో కనుక రాకపోతే దీంట్లో కూడా రాకపోవడానికి ఎంత ఛాన్స్ ఉంది అంటే దేర్ ఈజ్ అప్రాక్సిమేట్లీ 78% association is there between marks in maths and marks in stats. ఓకే, మా ఒక్క ఫార్ములా కనుక మీరు గుర్తు పెట్టుకుంటే సరిపోతుంది. యూ కెన్ సీ త్రూ అవుట్ దిస్ టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ wide variety of formulas are there for this particular correlation, but all are going to yield only one, right? All are going to yield only one, right? So don't get confused. ఇక్కడ చూడండి, సో ఇక్కడ x minus x bar తీసుకోలేదు, right? So instead of that they take only x square, y square and xy or y. That is their will and wish. Okay, that is their will and wish, and you can do the same also. So sigma x 2424 and number of observations are 12 are there. So x bar is given by 202, y bar is 1812 by 12 it is 151. Sigma x square ఇందాక చూసిన ఫార్ములా ఇదే, 1 by n into sigma xi square minus x bar whole square, and look at the numbers 498858. Don't bother about those numbers, okay, because we are not supposed to handle them manually, and we are provided with scientific calculators also. Kabatti no matter what is the extent of the number okay, right, it is 767.5. And similarly you can see sigma y square is given by 1 by n into sigma y square minus y bar whole square, which is 700.33. So finally covariance is given by 1 by n into sigma xi yi minus x bar into y bar is equal to 705 negative. Okay, so it is negative 0.96. It doesn't matter. So it is a negative correlation between price and demand. అదేదో భయంకరమైన ప్రోడక్ట్ అయి ఉంటుంది. డిమాండ్ నెగిటివ్ కొరిలేషన్ ఎలా అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి అంటే, డిమాండ్ పెరిగింది అనుకోండి ప్రైస్ తగ్గిపోతుంది, ప్రైస్ తగ్గింది అనుకోండి డిమాండ్ పెరిగిపోతుంది, రైట్? సో ద వన్ ఆఫ్ ద బెస్ట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఫర్ దట్ ఈజ్ గోల్డ్. గోల్డ్ కనుక జనాలు రేటు తగ్గింది అన్నారు అనుకోండి, ఇక ఎగబడతారు చూడండి. ఓకే, వాళ్ళు ఎగబడతారు చూడండి, అలా అన్నమాట. సో దెర్ ఈజ్ ఎ నెగిటివ్ కొరిలేషన్. సో ఇక్కడ ప్రాపర్టీస్ అని ఇచ్చారు చూడండి. ఇటు డూ ది కొరిలేషన్ కోఎఫిషియంట్ ఆఫ్ x and y is a pure number. Okay, it is a pure number, right? And the second one is correlation coefficient is independent of origin and change. So origin and change అంటే ఒక పర్టిక్యులర్ నెంబర్ ని సబ్ట్రాక్ట్ చేయడం వల్ల గానీ, ఒక నెంబర్ తో ఇచ్చిన క్వాంటిటీస్ ని డివైడ్ చేయడం వల్ల గానీ ఫైనల్ ఆన్సర్ లో ఎటువంటి తేడా ఉండదు. సో దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ చేంజ్ ఆఫ్ ఆరిజిన్ అండ్ స్కేల్. ఓకే, సో ఆరిజిన్ అంటే నెంబర్ ని సబ్ట్రాక్ట్ చేయడం, సో స్కేల్ అంటే నెంబర్ తో డివైడ్ చేయడం. ఓకే, దానివల్ల ఎటువంటి ఇంపాక్ట్ ఉండదు, రైట్? So all these are okay, same examples. Okay, it doesn't matter, same to same, no change. So one of the important is correlation law. That is, this is all about Spearman Karl Pearson coefficient of correlation. And the next one is, you can see Spearman's coefficient of correlation. Okay, so what Spearman does is he give ranks to individual observations. Okay, so the formula for Spearman's rank correlation coefficient is given by rho is equals to 1 minus 6 sigma di square by n into n square minus 1, right? That is the formula. It is not p, that is rho. Rho is equals to 1 minus 6 sigma d square by n into n square minus 1. What is d? It is the difference of xi's and yi's. So xi's yi's అంటే ఇచ్చిన అబ్జర్వేషన్స్ కాదు, వాటి ర్యాంక్స్ కి డిఫరెన్స్. ఓకే, సో యూ కెన్ సీ హియర్ ఓకే, రిపీటెడ్ ర్యాంక్స్ వస్తే ఏం చేయాలో చూద్దాం. బట్ ఎనీవే, సో యూ కెన్ సీ దిస్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. సో scores of 10 competitors in a beauty contest are ranked by, of course, 3 judges. Okay, 2 కి చూద్దాం ముందు. 2 కి చూసిన తర్వాత 3 కి వెళ్దాం. So it was given as ranks of 10 students in maths and stats are given below. Find the Spearman's rank correlation. వాడు ర్యాంక్స్ ఇచ్చేసాడు కాబట్టి మళ్ళీ మీరు స్పెసిఫిక్ గా ర్యాంక్స్ ఇవ్వాల్సిన పని లేదు. స్పెసిఫిక్ గా ర్యాంక్స్ ఇవ్వాల్సిన పని లేదు. సో ర్యాంక్స్ ఇవ్వాల్సిన పని లేదు, స్పెసిఫిక్ గా వాడే ఇచ్చేశాడు. ఒకవేళ కనుక వాడు ర్యాంక్లు ఇవ్వకుండా అబ్జర్వేషన్స్ ఇచ్చాడు అనుకోండి, అప్పుడు మనం ఏం చేయాలి అంటే ర్యాంక్స్ ఇచ్చుకోవాలి. ఓకే, సో ranks in maths are given by 1 2 3 4 up to 16 and ranks in y are altered. చూడండి, అక్కడ 2వ ర్యాంక్ వచ్చినోడికి ఇక్కడ 10వ ర్యాంక్ వచ్చింది, ఇక్కడ 3వ ర్యాంక్ వచ్చినోడికి ఇక్కడ 3, ఓకే, ఇక్కడ 8 వచ్చినోడికి ఇక్కడ 6 అండ్ సో ఆన్. ఓకే, సో వాట్ ఈస్ d? xi minus yi అండ్ di స్క్వేర్. అవి నెగిటివ్ వచ్చినా ప్రాబ్లం లేదు, వాటిని స్క్వేర్ చేస్తాం కాబట్టి అవి ఆటోమేటిక్ గా పాజిటివ్స్ అయిపోతాయి. సో I gave you the formula. Sigma di square is given by 136. So rank correlation is given by 1 minus 6 sigma d square by n into n square minus 1. The 1 minus 6 into 136 divided by 16 into 16 square minus 1, which is 0.8. Okay, correlation is nearly 80% is there. Okay, correlation is 80% is there between ranks of x and y. So that is considerable. Suppose ఇక్కడ 3 ఇచ్చారు అనుకోండి, ఇక్కడ d1 d2 d3 లు మారతాయి. So d1 is the difference of ranks between x and y, d2 is the ranks between y and z, and d3 is the ranks between x and z. So we calculate sigma d1 square, sigma d2 square, and sigma d3 square. Okay, so ranks between, correlation between x and y is given by the formula 1 minus 6 sigma d square. d అనే దానికన్నా ఇక్కడ d1 అంటే బాగుంటుంది. 1 minus 6 sigma d1 square divided by n into n square minus 1. n square, right? It is 2 into 200 divided by 10 into 10 square minus 1, which is negative 0.2121. And similarly, the relation between y and z is given by 0.297 negative. And similarly, the rank correlation between z and x is given by 0.6364. Okay, so that is how we calculate the rank correlation coefficients. So what happens if they are repeated? So చాలా సార్లు మనం చూస్తుంటాం, క్లాసుల్లో సేమ్ మార్క్స్ వచ్చిన వాళ్ళు ఉంటారు. So whenever ranks are getting repeated, what we have to do? సో ఇక్కడ x అనే అబ్జర్వేషన్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, x అనే అబ్జర్వేషన్స్ కనుక అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తే సెకండ్ ర్యాంక్ థర్డ్ ర్యాంక్ రిపీట్ అయినాయి. చూడండి, 75 ఇక్కడ 75. Right, so second rank and third rank were never given to anybody. So it is 2 plus 3 by 2. It is 2.5 and 2.5. Okay, it is 2.5 and 2.5. Okay, and here also you can see in voice 3.5 3.5 అంటే చూడండి, ఇద్దరు సేమ్ ర్యాంకర్లు ఉన్నారు. 68 and 68 in Y column. Okay, so they are not given either 3 or 4, they are given with 3.5 and 3.5. Okay, so DIs are considered, which is rank 1 minus rank 2, and DI squares are considered. Then 1 minus 6 sigma D square plus M square into M square minus 1. So ఇక్కడ formula చూపిస్తాను చూడండి. So this is the formula we are going to use. Okay, so you can see here 6 sigma D square plus Tx plus Ty by n into m square minus 1. That is the formula. So what is Tx? Tx and Ty's are totals of correction factors of x and y. So what is a correction factor? It is m into m square minus 1 divided by 12. So what is m? So m stands for the number of times a particular rank is repeated. So I am repeating, what is m? M stands for the number of times a particular rank is repeated. So in this problem I am showing you is 2.5 is the rank that is repeated twice. Okay, so అందుకనే ఇక్కడ 2 into 2 square minus 1 by 12 అని రాస్తాడు చూడండి. ఓకేనా, సో 2 into 2 square minus 1 divided by 12 ప్లస్ ఇంకా ఏమైనా రిపీట్ అయినాయో చూడండి. 6th ర్యాంక్ 3 సార్లు వచ్చింది. ఓకే, అందుకనే 3 into 3 square minus 1 divided by 12. So in total it is 5 by 2. And similarly Y column low, are there any repetitions? Right, are there any repetitions? Oka rank 3.5 is repeated twice, so it is 2 into 2 square minus 1 by 12, which is 1 by 2. So it was substituted here. It is 1 minus 6 into sigma D square plus 5 by 2 plus 1 by 2 whole divided by 10 into 10 square minus 1, which is 0.545. So this is all about repeated ranks. And one more thing is there, that is called regression. So what correlation does is what correlation does is it gives you the quantification of relation between the variables, 50%, 60%, 40%, 0%, whatever. So what this regression says is the relation between the variables. అంటే ఇక్కడ మనకి నెంబర్ రాదు. Instead of number we are going to have a relation between the variables. Okay, we have the relation between the variables. Okay, so that is all about regression line. There are two kinds of regression lines are there. One is a regression line of x on y, and the other is a regression line of y on x. Okay, the standard form of a regression line is given by y is equals to a plus bx. That is called linear regression line. Okay, so regression lines are of two types. First one is regression line of y on x and x on y. Okay, there are two, regression line of x on y and y on x. Okay, so the regression coefficient of y on x is given by byx, which is calculated by r into sigma y by sigma x. R is the correlation coefficient. And similarly regression coefficient of x on y is given by bxy, which is given by r into sigma x by sigma y. Okay, okay, calculate the regression equation x on y and y on x for the following data and estimate x when y is 20. So this is right. So some x and y's are given. The first job is to find the regression equation. So for that we take x, we take y. So x bar is given by what? 14, right? Sigma x 70, x bar తీసుకుంటే 14 and y bar తీసుకుంటే it is 8. So sum of the deviations about mean is always is equals to 0. కాబట్టి 10 minus 14, 12 minus 14, 13 minus 14, 17 minus 14 and 18 minus 14. That is second column. అవన్నీ యాడ్ చేస్తే obviously you are going to get 0. And we got x square. Similarly y minus y bar and y square, and finally the product xy. So regression equation of x on y is given by x minus x bar is equals to r into sigma x by sigma y into y minus y bar. Okay, so x bar is 14 and y bar is 8, already calculated, and r into sigma x by sigma y is given by covariance of x comma y by sigma y square. Okay, therefore it is covariance. మనకు ఆల్రెడీ ఇదొక ఫార్ములాలు ఇచ్చాం కదా covariance కి, 1/n into sigma xy minus x bar into y bar. ఓకే, అలా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తే యు ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు గెట్ 1. సో అది తీసుకొచ్చి ఈ లైన్లో కనుక రాశారనుకోండి, సో ఈ లైన్లో కనుక మీరు సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేస్తే x minus x bar is equals to r into sigma x by sigma y into y minus y bar, which is x is equals to y plus 6. Okay, that is called regression line. So similarly, if you follow for y, it is y is equal to 0.87x minus 4.18. That is called regression line of y on x. Okay, so in this way we can get regression line of x on y as well as regression line of y on x. Okay, Sunita madam.
సార్
Okay, ఇవాళ
Okay,
మొత్తం
sir.
కవర్ చేయించాం.
ఓకే సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
Right, thank you.